This thing on? Mic check. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Yeah. Should you practice art? Or should art be your practice? I had a question, so I asked it. Not to anyone specifically, but to my inner God, you know? The one that's gonna be a master. The one that's more than a rapper. The one that's an educator. The one that seeks enlightenment. He travels with concepts. He's got the mindset expansive. He understands that it's time combined with travel and concepts makes his mind convex. Sort of like when you look at a brain scan.
Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I have to laugh at myself because I have been doing this show, I want to say, for 112 weeks or something like that. And somehow or another, I jacked up the start time, which is why there are not a lot of people here right now. I scheduled this thing for 7:30, which is the time of the other live stream that we used to do on Sunday night. So I am not quite sure what has happened. I don't understand it, but fingers crossed, folks will actually show up. Fingers crossed that our guest tonight will also show up as well. This show that you are watching right now, potentially on replay because it jacked up the time, is called Comics Today. And this is a show that we do to celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day, today, Wednesday. And I will tell you that I did not have a chance to pick up any books. I didn't have anything come in except for an AOK that I have sitting here off to my side. I actually received 2 AOKs on the same day, and it's been quite some time since I've received any. I don't know why that is, but I see a lot of people as of late starting to exchange AOKs all over again, and some actually made their way to me. So I'm going to show you guys that. I will tell you, this is not a solicitation for AOKs. That is not why I mention it, but it is cool when people take time to actually send you something. So one of the cool things that we do as part of this show is that we talk about some news and current events, things that are top of mind for me, might also be top of mind for you. I oftentimes also have a guest or two on that will help me to make sense of something that is happening in the world of comics and collectibles, and we will have a guest on in just a little bit. The other thing that we do as part of this show, in addition to having fun, that is that I go to the chat to see what it is that you all may have picked up at your LCSs earlier today. So if you were able to make it to the LCS, you snagged some books, I want to know what it is that you picked up. If you happen to read something that is good, I want to know what that is. And if you want to shout out your LCS, feel free to do that as well, because again, this is a celebration of New Comic Book Day. And I will also say that even if you did not pick up a new comic, and if it is new to you, I want to know about that new to you comic. So make certain that you throw that up in the comment section as well, so that we can celebrate your most recent acquisition. And so again, folks are making their way in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and show what it is that I received from a man, Tyler Ham. My man Tyler Ham sent me Yule the Ghoul, the Rest in Peace series, Yule the Ghoul, and it is a children's book. It is a children's book that Tyler is putting out there from Scout Comics, I guess from their Scoot, I think it's Scoot imprint, which I guess is for children. He sends this over to me, and he says, his note says, Reggie, I hope you and your kids enjoy. So shout out to Tyler for hooking me up with Yule the Ghoul from Scoot, aka Scout Comics. I have not yet read the book, but Tyler, thank you very much for sending this over. I will read it first to make sure that it's appropriate for my children. But no, I definitely appreciate you sending it over. The other cool thing that I received, it's not a book. It's not a book, but it is made of paper, sorta. And it's a picture of a book, sorta. It is super creative. My man Philtastic hooked me up with this. It's like scrap wood. It's like scrap wood that he put a 9.8 copy of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 110 on. And I don't know how he made this thing. I don't know if he printed it on there or not, burned the edges. I mean, there's a lot of super creative people out there. So I don't want to know the magic behind this thing. I think it's really cool. And what's cool is that I've seen a lot of people out there across the YouTube community actually receive similar versions that are personalized for them. And here's an image here on screen. You may notice that that distortion in the left quadrant, left uppermost quadrant. That is, I do believe, that is a 7-Eleven sign. I think that's what that's intended to be. He did a merger of Isolation tribute to that project. The Gibbon Gang is on here, but then I also tell the story of some shady stuff that I did back in the day, picking up some really cool comics in a 7-Eleven parking lot, which is why he put the 7-Eleven sign shadow, if you will, the neon reflection on the slab there. But just a really cool gift to have received from Philtastic. Shout out to you, brother. I absolutely appreciate your creativity and the wonderful gesture. All right. Philomania. It's crazy because I got mine. And I went to social media, and then all of a sudden I saw everybody, not everybody, but a lot of other people that are members of the Gibbon Gang actually receiving their own token of appreciation. And it's cool. It's just cool. It's a wonderful community, just a wonderful gesture. Shout out to Phil. So let me see. Reggie in the red. No, sir. No, sir. Second marriage, trying to make it work. No, sir. I don't do the red lights. Scrolling through. If you guys picked up something today from your LCS, let me know what it is that you guys may have picked up, because I want to celebrate whatever it is that you picked up. So if you have a chance, throw that up in the comment section. And again, for anyone that showed up early, late, I don't know what you want to call it. I had the times all messed up. But my bad. So my man Trev, the shipping guru, is giving a shout out for some things that he picked up. I mean, I think Trev, the most significant thing you picked up, of course, is Isolation issue number 3. Definitely appreciate all of you guys that were able to pick up copies of Isolation. I appreciate you guys doing so. There we go. Isolation 3 with some gifts. There you go. Got a package. Hopefully everybody out there has received their shipments from me, with the exception of maybe 7 people. There's a couple of people out there where I miscounted and I did not have enough signed copies of books on hand. So I had to send stuff off to Doug. Doug is signing and sending those books back to me. Once I receive them, I'm going to process through everything and get stuff shipped out. Fingers crossed also that your orders are correct. I sometimes, believe it or not, make mistakes, but fingers crossed that your orders are correct. And if they are not, forward me your original confirmation email and just let me know what was incorrect. I will try to make it right. It could be a challenge. It could be a challenge because cover B is essentially sold out. Like I have no copies of cover B to offer anyone at this moment, and I'm getting super low on cover A's as well. Some of the A's that I have cover defects, and I don't feel comfortable sending those out. What I do is I rip the covers off and I give them as reader copies for folks that make large purchases. I offer them up that way so that I don't just throw comics in the trash. So fingers crossed that you all have your orders either in hand or en route. And again, there are 7 or 6 of you that I'm still working on. So please bear with me, and I will try to put a little something extra, little extra goodness in your boxes for you. All right. Scrolling through the comments section here, seeing what else. You're the talk of the town, Philtastic. Was he not here? What was he? Oh, you were doing bath time. I'm gonna be honest with you, Phil. You need to get your priorities straight. No, your priorities are straight. Bath time with the kids. That's way more importanter than me. But I did say some nice stuff about you, so you may want to watch this on rewind. I absolutely appreciate your continued support of the channel, Phil. I also appreciate your creativity that I do not have. So shout out to you for that. Rush, my Canadian brother, 33 comics today. Sweet Christmas. That is a lot of books. Your LCS loves you. I don't know anything about these recall books, but I'm going to say that that's a good thing. If you have some recall books in your possession and you have multiple copies of them, that is a win. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to at some point get a new table. The table that I have sits on carpet and it is the wobbliest thing ever. So if you ever see some strange edits in my videos, it's probably because my table Neighbor Neil pointed it out to me a couple of weeks ago, and I had to stop talking to him for like a day. I was like, Neighbor Neil, I am very much aware of my wobbly table that sits on carpet. Neighbor Neil, thank you. Turbo Todd, how you doing, brother? New to him, picked up Batman 532, Daredevil 186, and 188. He also picked up a book, Power of Shazam 1. Do not listen to the Bratton brothers. They will set you up. I'm going to tell you, they will have you spending all kinds of money on Shazam and Superman and Sandman. I'm going to tell you that right now. They will jack you up. Steve White, how you doing, brother? Picked up 19 books and a short box at the LCS. And yes, Steve, your LCS loves you. There is no doubt about that. Kevin Pitts, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. All right, let me scroll down. I think I am all caught up. I wish Reggie would recall Isolation. Then my... I will tell you that there are some printer errors that are out there. There are some printer error copies of Isolation Cover A in float that may or may not be in someone's mystery box. So far, I have only found 4 of them. They are some out there, and I think it's a cool cool error. It's a cool error, and I slid them into some of the mystery boxes for those folks that picked up mystery boxes. And I think the folks that got mystery boxes hopefully will be pleasantly surprised with what it is that they actually received in those. I think they turned out well, but ultimately you guys will give me the feedback and let me know what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and let me see. Is there another update? There is an update. Let me give you guys a quick update on something I want you guys to be aware of. There is a series of videos that I've been releasing as of late that seem to be resonating with people. And if you haven't seen this video, I definitely want to encourage you guys to check it out. It is called Comics to Slab. And in this video series, what I'm essentially doing is highlighting books that you may already have in your collection that you may want to consider sending off to have those books be slabs, because their values are at such a point that if you want to spend some money, if you want to invest in your collection, these are the types of books that you may want to consider sending in. And so in this most recent video, I think I highlighted like 4 or 5 books, something like that, that if you have them, you may want to think about it. I know at least one person posted up that they immediately went from the video to their bins, found a book that was a really nice copy, and I think they made the decision to actually send it in. This is my attempt to recognize that the market, the economy aren't in a great place, but I'm trying to highlight ways that people can still be involved in the hobby without spending big money. That is essentially the purpose of this series, is to help folks to potentially recognize some value that may be sitting in their collections already, right? So don't have to spend a lot of money, and spend a little money and have a really cool, awesome book that is now slabbed. I will also say that not every book needs to be slabbed. Some books are great in poly and mylar and top loaders and gator guards and whatever other holder you want to use. Slabbing is not the only way. With that said, I am going to now invite a guest on to the show. And I will tell you that I have questions for this guest. Some of them may be awkward, but we are going to dig into it. With that said, I want to welcome to the show Roger from 3 Men in a Basement to talk about an event that he has coming up. Roger, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on. This is great. I appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. You would think, Roger, that we coordinated our outfits considering the color scheme that we have going on, sir.
Well, I watched the beginning of your show, so I went and changed.
There you go. That's the right answer. Roger, welcome to the show. I have questions for you, brother. I am confused, and okay, I am hoping that you can clarify a few things for me. Roger, you run a YouTube channel called 3 Men in a Basement, yes?
Correct.
Okay. Who are these 3 men? What basements are they in? What are they doing down there? Is it the same basement or multiple basements? Help me to understand 3 men in a basement.
Okay, so right now the 3 men part of the channel is myself, Otto, and Dave in a cave. But it's the history of 3 men in a basement. We used to be 3 of us in the so Otto has a bar in his basement called the Grotto. So when we started doing live shows, we were doing them on Instagram to begin with. So the 3 of us were down there, and Otto says, I think we can go on YouTube. I've been watching some guys. We just talk comics, do unboxings, recent pickups. And Otto's wife looks at him and says, "What? Nobody's gonna watch you. Just 3 men in a basement talking about geek stuff." So, so we just looked at each other and said, "That's what we're gonna roll with." And like any institution, whether it's a YouTube channel or the Big Ten, I'm a Michigan fan. The Big Ten has more than 10 schools in it, right? So 3 men in a basement stays 3 men, even though I'm in my studio most of the time. Otto, who lives 2 blocks away, is in his studio, and Dave actually moved to Arizona, so he does it from his studio. And every once in a while, if we have a large CGC unboxing, as we do, we don't find out the grades and we get last reaction, I will go to the Grotto and we'll do it from the basement, old school style.
There we go. Was there a lot of drinking down in those early videos? Because I mean, if you have a bar in your basement, it invites consumption, does it not?
It does. I'm thinking if they actually held on to the Instagram videos, you may have seen a couple shotguns at the end, which we've since matured a little and eliminated that from our videos.
Well done, brother. So one of the other things, Roger, that I noticed in some of you all's promotion, I see hand gestures. You guys are throwing up hand gestures. It looks like that. I thought you guys were a gang. I was like, I have to get clarification on what these guys are doing in these basements and whether this is some gang stuff, whether there's gang affiliation that's going on.
Cellar dwellers, man. You put up the 3s. 3 men in a basement, cellar dwellers.
Well done, sir. That is very...
I even get to the point where like we'll take a picture with the kids like on vacation, and I'll look over and my son and daughter will have 3 fingers out.
Yeah, that's very similar to my fraternity's hand sign. We do sue. So I just want you to be prepared. Okay. If you guys ever, morph into a diamond shape of any sort, there could be some litigation. You just want to be careful.
Right. Half of nothing is nothing. So
including your children. What'd you say?
Half of nothing is nothing. You can take half.
Well done. Well done, brother. All right. So you guys have a cool event that's actually coming up. I want to say on May 20th or something like that. Again, I'm confused. I've seen this event described as multiple things, as a swap, as a con swap. What is this event, Roger? So, like a lot like our channel, it evolved, right? So the first time we did this, it was actually 6 years ago. That's what it was. We reserved a room in a restaurant that Otto bartended at, and it was a large room. And we put out there to the comic community on Instagram, listen, we're all going to get together, bring some books. If you want to buy something, swap books, do whatever. And we took over this whole part of the restaurant. And we had giveaways. I mean, right off the bat, we had like Very Gary, Ex-Illusionary showed up, like Monty's Collectibles, JNS, all these guys that were known for having great books showed up. We did some shows leading up to it, and people put in the chat, hey, I'm looking for a run of Spider-Man. Gary brought it. He was able to sell it. So, and I definitely swapped probably about 10 books that day, and it kind of started that old school feel. The second year we did it at a different location. The third year we went down to Jersey for the third man. It was like a hall downstairs, and it was actually Matt from Pressable Defects, his debut on YouTube. He did a live unboxing. We went live at the show. When we were done with Jersey, we decided we wanted to step it up. So once we got a bigger venue, it's more of a show. Like, like we can't change the name because it's our thing, right? The 3 MIB swap, but it's a show. Not that anybody won't be willing to swap you. I swapped 2 books last year with some other guys, some slabs, but it's more of dealer. We're really effectively calling it a show, comic show. It's not only comics. We have card guys, we have pops and figure guys there. We have a woman who does like her own soap, like natural organic soap. We have artists. Last year we had
we've had a couple local artists for the last couple of years, but last year Mike Provo and Sean Anderson came down, and they had prints and they incorporated our logo in it. We had CGC witnessing there for Yellow Labels if anybody chose to do that, and we had the first year there we had, I don't know, under 20 vendors. Last year we were at 28, and I actually went to the space and took measurements about 15 times and made a blueprint that was actual to scale.
That's
and
cool.
we put every possible table we can in, and we found a way to add some more. So we'll have 30 plus vendors this year.
That's crazy. So over the course of 6 years, you guys have grown this thing from an informal swap at a bar to like a legitimate like micro show, micro con. And did I hear you say you're going to have 30 dealers at this one?
Correct.
And it's going to be a mix. It's going to be a mixture of collectibles and other maybe, I don't know if soap is adjacent, but other types of things there for people to enjoy. Yes.
Correct. And we, like last couple of years, we had someone who made like homemade wall hangers. You could either do slabs or raw books or top loaders. We had a card guy. We had definitely a mixture of different tables that not only had books but pops and statues. And
that's cool.
Plus, the heavy hitters like J&S Collectibles. Gary will be this year. There's just so many books to choose from and great deals.
So when you all started, and I have to say you all, when you all started this 6 years ago, did you anticipate it going where it is now? Was that always part of the plan, or was it like, hey, let's just do this and have fun, and now it's this thing? Was it a plan, or was it more accidental?
Accidental.
Okay.
We our YouTube channel, and if you ask anybody who knows us, whether it's on YouTube or personally, we're about getting the community together.
Yep.
So that's what this was, the first one. And we do these things called crawls about 3 or 4 times a year. And we call comic stores, say, we're coming with 20, 25, 30 guys. Give us a deal or let us into your uncirculated books, and we'll bring them there. And they make a fistful of cash. And all the guys that show up, we give away free stuff. It's about having fun and bringing the community together.
And you guys
that's what it started out as,
Yeah. And you guys are located where? Like Connecticut, right?
Connecticut, yeah.
So again, I lived in Connecticut. Lived in Plainville, Connecticut. I didn't know anything about you guys back then. It would have been great because Connecticut was not good to me. I was there for 8 months, and it was a long 8 months. I could have used a buddy or two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong with having some accidental success, right? Because I mean, you guys are doing some really cool stuff. Bringing the community together is never a bad thing. I am curious, what type of turnout have you all seen from the con? Like you mentioned a few heavy hitter dealers that are coming out. You have a mixture of dealers that are coming. How many actual people are showing up, and how many do you anticipate for this upcoming show on May 20th?
Well, the trend since we started at this new location was we doubled in size. So the first year, we kind of didn't know what we were doing with the size of platform we had.
Yeah.
We still had some great vendors. We probably had 100 and 150 people. Last year, I would say we were over 200 to 250 people came through the door. So we're anticipating 400 this year.
That's crazy.
We're getting better at advertising, getting better at knowing where to, we had these cards made up so we could plaster them all over the comic book stores all over the place. Banners made that. Some of the guys that we go to a lot of these crawls, like, yeah, bring me a banner. I'll hang it up,
That's very cool. And you guys charge a small fee for access, right? Talk a little bit about how much you guys charge it and maybe the why behind it, but then maybe also what is it that people get for the money that they pay to get access?
All right. So the biggest thing about the 3MIB show / swap is it's an event. You come and you don't leave. It's not like, other local shows where you go through, you do your pass around, you buy something, you don't, and then you go.
Yeah.
We so it's only $5 to get in, 10 and under are free. We actually don't charge the vendors. What we ask for the vendors is an item for our raffle for a retail value of $100 or more.
Yep.
And we'll probably have anywhere from 40 to 50 raffle items. And when the public comes in, they buy raffle tickets.
Yep.
Right. So we don't do this to make money. Right. Last year, the first year we dipped into our pockets. Last year we just broke even. To us, that's a win right there.
Yep.
As long as I don't got to pay for anything out of my pocket. We do have sponsorships that helps offset that cost, and the comic community is very generous. But we have a DJ who plays all day long. We do every hour we give away something. If you come in there with a kid, I got bagfuls of kids' toys and stuff that we just hand to the kids as
That's
they're walking
cool.
around.
That's cool.
We have a food truck outside, Taste of Home, it's called. It's a Spanish food truck, so they do breakfast. Then they have like Spanish rice, or even if you just want hot dogs and hamburgers, we had an ice cream truck show up. So people come and they don't leave all day. You know, they wait for the raffles, they have free giveaways. You know, the giveaways are anything from questions about comic books to questions about our YouTube channel. So, you know, people who are watching will go deep into funny things that happen and ask them. It's a lot of fun all day long.
That's cool, man. I mean, again, anything that brings the community together, but then you're also helping to foster the next generation of readers and potential collectors by like having kids have a good time and giving them free stuff like that. That goes over well. You're spending $5 to get access to that, and maybe a little bit more to get a raffle ticket. That is not a bad way to actually spend some time. So are there any specific dealers that you want to highlight? Like, you've hit on a couple. Very Gary's name has come up a couple of times, but are there any other dealers or even artists for that matter that you want to make mention of?
Yeah, first and foremost, I am completely excited to have the isolation team come there, man. We got them set up with 3 or 4 tables. I haven't solidified who it is yet. Doug's keeping me, you know, kind of like on it. I'm guessing him and Delia. I know anybody that watches our YouTube channel knows that I love this book. We had Doug and Delia and Elena on before the first issue came out on our YouTube channel to talk about and preview it, show off a couple of panels we were allowed to. I love this. I'm all in on this. So to have them all there and possibly be able to buy some original page art and stuff while we're there and have them sign it. Like I said, Capture Collectibles will be there, so I can have them sign it and have the yellow label witnessed if I want. I don't know, is he gonna have Chase there? I know Elena, I think, is from the West Coast. I'm excited for him to finally tell me who's coming.
I'll tell you. I'll tell
Okay.
you right now. All right. So you're going to have Doug. You're going to have Delia. You're going to have Elizabeth. She is the letterer, but then she's also done 2 of the con covers for us as well. The purple one and the red one. She did those. And Dave Bratton. Well, you know Dave. Dave will be there. Dave actually did the cover, or kind of sort of multiple covers for the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. He did that. So you're going to have a healthy number of the folks from the creative team actually there, which is kind of cool. Chase is here in North Carolina with me, but you'll again have Doug, Delia, and Beth. Those 3 will be on site.
I'm completely psyched. So first, right off the bat, that's going to be, we have like a little thing we call our mini artist alley that we set up, but people file in there and get to see the artists and everybody set up there. But yeah, Very Gary will be there. JNS Collectibles. If anybody goes to a show anywhere on the East Coast or even C2E2, JNS is top notch with what they bring. Brick House Comics is here in Connecticut. Richie Comic Cabana is another place that we frequent with our crawls. You know, like Spineworks will be taking CGC submissions, and if you want pressing, cleaning, Capture Collectibles. As I said, we have a soap. We made organic soap. Like there's just so many different things to do.
That's cool.
You know, the biggest thing I said, we like to have fun. You know, and it's if anything, I know how to throw a party, and this is just like a party that brings all the comic community together. It's surprisingly been pretty successful, and the hard work pays
That's
off.
all right. So for those folks that are coming in a little late, we're talking to Roger from 3 Men in the Basement, and it wasn't until Roger, you said isolation, that I realized over your shoulder is isolation issue number 3.
It just came in today.
I did not see it until you said isolation, and it popped into view. Thank you for supporting the project. I know you and Doug are good friends. So Doug is an okay guy most days, but we absolutely appreciate you supporting the project. So Roger, one other question that I have for you. We have not exactly spoken about the venue. We've spoken around the venue. This SwapCon community event on May 20th is being held at a place called the Angry Hare. What is an angry hare? I don't know that term.
Okay, so the Angry Hare is a heavy metal hair salon. Okay, so this is a longtime high school, elementary school friend of Otto's, who cut hair, and he just recently, the first show we had, is he had not opened the doors yet. He had done the construction, and it's like a 5,000 square foot warehouse that looks like the old, like you used to go see old concerts back in the 80s and 90s. It was just like a warehouse. He's got a stage, and we deemed it since then, and he's kind of adopted it, a venue, an event venue, not just a hair salon, because you walk in there and it's heavy metal, so like they're getting their hair colored and all crazy stuff, but he has bands there, and where they cut the hair, there's 3 raised platforms that look like stages.
Really?
And then at the front of the room is an actual stage where he has bands, DJs, he hosts parties, friends parties there. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, he lets us take the space over, and we kind of move all the hairdressing stuff out into the back room and kind of take it over. He has a elevated stage where he does like all the hair washing. We made that like an adult beverage area about an hour before the con closed, And so the Angry Hair is a heavy metal hair salon. And it's about, I'd say, a little over 5,000 square feet, and it's really an event center if you've ever seen the inside of it.
I'm so glad you defined that for me, because I really had no clue. I'm like, Angry Hair? What is that? And then you described it as a heavy metal hair salon. I'm like, oh, so what is that? Like,
yeah, it's definitely, it's what, you go there to get your crazy colored hair and crazy views, and they got heavy metal playing. They got gaming. They got gaming sections, like old school Atari when you're waiting. Like, he did a good job setting this place up.
Oh, that's
couches
cool.
everywhere, art on the walls for local artists. So
that's cool.
It's a pretty neat venue, and we're going to be open 10 to 5. I don't think I said that, but the event is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's only $5 to get in. You can come and go to the truck, have some ice cream, come back in, win some prizes from the DJ.
That sounds like a cool event, brother. I wish that I could be there, but thank you for hosting the isolation team there. I am confident that folks will have a lot of fun. Roger, where can people get a hold of you should they want to reach out, or if they want to get tickets or ask questions about the event that you all have coming up? Where can they find you on social media?
All right, so you can find us at 3 Men in the Basement, the letter kind of like over my head here, the letter 3 Men in the Basement, all one word, on Instagram, or spelled the same way at gmail.com. You can also reach out to Roger Levesque, like over here on Instagram, or Otto_Grotto on Instagram. Any direct message or emails to us, and we can give you details. It's on Payne Road in Newington, Connecticut. And if you need any more details, we're not quite sophisticated enough to sell tickets ahead of time. We have printed out some tickets that we're giving away. We're bringing to comic shops. This weekend we'll be at Little Giant Comic Show in New Hampshire, so we'll be putting some in some random VIP bags and that kind of thing. But other than that, it's just pay at the door.
There we go. Roger, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for helping me to understand what it is that you guys are working on. And certainly if we can support in any way, talk to Doug.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. This has been great. I do talk to Doug often, as I deemed him, and he laughs about it because his wife makes fun of him, the smartest man in comics. So he says every once in a while she'll be like, "Come on, Mr. Smartest man in comics, go do the laundry."
Yeah,
so,
that kind of stuff doesn't go over well with wives. No, doesn't work. Roger, it's been a pleasure, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you too, man. Have a great rest of the show.
Take care. All right, hit the wrong button on that one, but huge shout out to 3 Men in the Basement for what they are attempting to do. This honestly sounds like a really cool event, and I am confident that the 400 or so folks that show up for this are going to have a blast. I mean, how could you not at a heavy metal hair salon called the Angry Hair? May 20th. Sorry. Make sure you guys check it out. So there you go. All right. So let me see. Trev, I'm scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I saw a couple of people spell my name incorrectly. I'm going to just go ahead and say it is Regie. I was looking out of the corner of my eye. And Rob, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Reg loves the UK. I don't exactly. No, I would just no. No, I don't know. That's not true. All right. So let's talk about some news and current events. Some things, again, that may be top of mind for me and also top of mind for you guys. I'm going to tell you guys that there is one of the worst kept secrets around. One of the worst kept secrets around is the fact that HBO Max is actually changing their name. We have known about this for at least 6 months. At least 6 months. We have known that HBO Max was changing its name to Max. They are dropping, as you can tell, the HBO portion and just moving forward with Max. And so they're going to be rebranding, and they're going to be adding some content from the Discovery Plus platform. And they're also going to have 3 different tiers, 3 different pricing tiers, because they absolutely, I guess, need more money. It's not HBO Max soon. It's going to be Max. Warner Brothers officially announced HBO has a new name, and it is Max. They are lopping off the HBO part of the name as it mixes in a big old bucket, a big bucket of new content from Discovery Plus and other new original series. The company announced the name change at a press event. They actually had a press event to tell us something that we have known for a while. The rebuilt Max on the web at max.com is set to launch first in the US on May 23rd, featuring what the company promises will be an average of more than 40 new titles and TV show seasons every month. That is a lot of new content. That is a lot of new content. And as you all know, Warner Brothers has been getting beat up as of late for a lot of the decisions that they are making. One of those decisions was to remove a lot of content from their platform, which I get why they did it, right? If people are not watching these movies, why continue to pay to have those movies on the platform if folks are not actually looking at them, especially when you have to close a very, very large financial gap. But they are now saying that we are going to get, on average, 40 new titles and TV show seasons every single month, which is a lot. David Zaslav, as you would imagine, has nothing but great things to say. He says Max is the one to watch. He said this on the main stage at the event. According to the website, there are going to be 3 different versions, 3 different plans that they are going to offer. One is called the Max Ad Lite for the low price of $9.99 or $99.99 per year. You get 2 concurrent streams. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a struggle for me because I have 2 children that like to watch TV in different rooms. So you know that could be a challenge. Not that my children watch Max; they don't watch HBO Max, but we run into this challenge a lot with Netflix. But there's going to be one lower price plan here, Max Ad Lite. Then there's a Max Ad Free for basically $16 that they're going to offer. It gives the same number of streams, but it gives you offline downloads. I don't know that it's worth it. I don't know that having offline downloads is worth the extra money, but it is what it is. And the biggest package for $20 is Max Ultimate Ad Free that also has no ads, but you get 4 streams and you also get 4K resolution. Which is kind of cool because a lot of times you all watch my videos, they are in 4K, and I think I look quite crispy in 4K. So the change is all going down on, what date did I say? May, I think that's what I said. May 23rd is the date. There we go. May 23rd. It is all going down. Again, the worst kept secret ever that they are rebranding the Max name. Let me go to the chat real quick. Will Max be carrying the Isolation series? Philtastic, we can only hope. We can only hope that we are going to get a shot on goal at turning Isolation into a series. It would be amazing. It would be amazing to make that happen. Liger style, WB and DC can't get a break on. Scrolling through what you guys talking about. I don't think that that's the case anymore, sir. Back in our day, Rob Boswell, because I think we are of similar age, it was indeed that. I don't know that that is what it is now. I don't know that that's the game. I think there are very few shows that I actually watch on HBO Max at this point. There are very few shows that I watch. So I find it refreshing that they're going to be adding 40 new shows. Hopefully it's going to be some good stuff. What do you call an angry HBO customer? Wait for it. Dad joke. Mad Max. There you go, Matt Woods. No more streaming subscriptions for me. I got, brother, I respect it. I respect it, my man. I cut out several a while ago. Rob Boswell says the 23rd. Happy anniversary. You get a really expensive HBO Max service, and you can watch it in 4 different rooms of your house. You can watch it in 4 different rooms. What did I say for $16? $16. Matt, how you? I'm sorry, Mark, sitting on ASM 194 CGC 9.6 that I got back slab recently. Holds it for the long run, brother. I do not know issue 194 off the top of my head, but what I will tell you is that if you send me a message on Instagram at Regie Collects, I will gladly give you my opinion of that. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. It is going down. HBO Max is awesome. Love a lot of the deep cuts and oh no, no. I struggle. I have to use subtitles, and I don't always enjoy the subtitle on some of the international stuff. Scrolling through too many streaming services right now. Sale. There you go. Is Nova, man, don't get out of here. Nova is never coming to the MCU. Talk about the longest wind up ever. They've been talking about Nova coming to the MCU for like the last 2 years. Who knows? Who knows whether it's ever actually going to happen? Chris Bigger, I owe you isolation. I promise I will get to it. I will get it to you at some point, brother. We are running low on supply, but we are going to make that magic happen. So there was a reason why I first wanted to talk about the name change of HBO Max, even though it is the worst kept secret ever in history. I bring it up because Shazam 2 is coming to Max. It is coming to Max. So for those that may not be keeping score here, Shazam 2 was released in theaters on March 17th, I do believe. It was made available for purchase digitally on April 18th. It's not a whole lot of time between the two. And now we are hearing that it is going to be available for free as part of your streaming package on, guess which day? May 23rd, which is the same day that HBO Max goes to Max. They're going to give us for free Shazam 2, which has not done very well at theaters. Not very well at all. It's announced today that Warner Brothers Discovery Streamer Press that this spring's DC feature, Shazam Fury of the Gods, will be hitting the newly revamped Max service on its relaunch date of May 23rd. The movie, which made $128 million worldwide, will be hitting the streaming service 68 days after debuting in theaters. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav believes that these long lead times for movies between the theatrical release and making it available elsewhere, he doesn't believe in that. He wants to kind of shorten some of that time. This article is somewhat uninteresting, but I do want to revisit a little bit of this movie. So we spoke about, came out in theaters March 17th. Digital available for purchase April 18th, streaming now May 23. The time between theatrical release and when it's available on a streaming platform is getting narrower and narrower, no doubt about it. And it might have been exacerbated or accelerated because of the poor performance of this movie. The movie only made $128.1 million. It cost 210. So the production is estimated at 110 million. The marketing was about 100 million. These are all estimates. $210 million is what it basically cost to make and market this movie. And the box office only brought in 128 million, which is not very good. I will tell you that a lot of people that have actually seen this movie have great things to say about the movie. Many people rather enjoy the movie. And a few of the articles that I've actually looked at spoke about the fact that this movie was a little undercut by the fact that it's not going to be part of the larger universe, right? And folks knew that going in, and folks are basically like, I have no interest in actually checking out this movie because it's not going to be connected to anything else that happens in the future. And part of the challenge is now that is a certainty right, that to some degree that is a certainty with this movie losing so much money, right? I think it was possible that things could continue if the movie had performed. That is not the case right now. And so, again, they're making it available on the streaming platform. My guess is that folks will watch it. There will be some folks that will continue to enjoy this. I have not seen it. I don't really go to the movie theater, but I am looking forward to actually seeing this movie on the small screen come May 23rd. Let me go to the chat real quick, see what you guys are talking about. Let me see. Pretty good review. Scrolling through. Ant-Man was good, but not as good as the others, says Carlos. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Never could get interested in Shazam. I've heard that. I've heard that point as well. I actually liked Ant-Man, says Mark. Again, these movies, not all of these movies are terrible, because that is the narrative that you will hear most out there, that everything that came after Avengers Endgame is trash. I do not believe that that is true. I do not, because I've seen some of the movies and I've enjoyed them, right? So I don't think that people have to apologize for enjoying something when others don't. It's okay. You like Ant-Man? Man, enjoy it. You want to watch Shazam? You enjoy Shazam? Watch it and enjoy it, right? At the end of the day, we are all adults. We should all be able to enjoy what it is that we enjoy without feeling guilty for some of this stuff. Scrolling through, Carlos did not enjoy it. Steve White did. Again, this is the thing. Some folks enjoyed it. And again, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Matt Woods is on the board, says that Ant-Man was a fun movie to watch. Family had a great time watching it. I think that the same thing could be said about Shazam. A lot of people went with their kids. Some of their kids enjoyed it. Some kids didn't. Again, it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, Boar, how you doing, brother? I have not seen Shazam, but I will. Tina's giving some hearts to somebody up in here. Scrolling through, Hollywood wants us to move on from comic book films. That's why all the negative articles. I saw an article come up on a comic book news outlet today that basically said Marvel movies are on the steady decline. And I don't know what to make of that, right? Because again, that is the narrative that you hear. The truth is, not every Marvel movie, even from the beginning, was a great movie. Some of them were just okay. Not all of them were great, but the narrative right now is that everything that came after Endgame is trash. And what's really funny is that a lot of people that say that haven't actually seen any of the movies since Avengers Endgame. But they are some of the loudest saying that these movies are trash. If you haven't seen it, how can you have an opinion? You're borrowing the opinion from someone else. You're reading reviews that are a lot of times negative, and you're just regurgitating that same narrative without actually observing any of this for yourself and making up your own mind, which oftentimes is a dangerous thing. That is a dangerous thing. Scrolling through more Morbius. I thought Morbius was fine. Like, I wasn't blown away that this is the most amazing vampire movie ever, but I rather enjoyed it. It was not as bad as people made it seem. Now, Eternals, on the other hand, absolute trash. Scrolling through the comments here. Chris Bigger. We are there, brother. I did not see your comment when I made my statement, but again, there are people that like the Eternals. I thought it was painful. Scrolling through, haters go. I'm gonna tell you, Rob. When I saw the Marvels trailer drop, I was like, "Oh, that's a fun movie, right?" Maybe not a movie that I'm like, I gotta go see this movie or show, whatever the thing is. But somebody, like, after I watched the trailer, I received a message from somebody and they were like, "Hey, have you seen this? What do you think?" And my response to them was, the haters are going to hate this movie. The people that hate Marvel right now for pick a reason will absolutely dump on that trailer and that movie, and they will never see it. But I promise you, Marvel's will be the worst movie, show, whatever it is, ever made, according to those people. That is the narrative. As soon as I saw the trailer, I knew it was going to be on. And Chuck H made a comment. He was like, it's almost a no-brainer that people will hate this one because of the makeup of that cast. No doubt about it. Haters gon' hate. Scrolling through, I have not read it. I have not read it, and I want to read it. I'm waiting for Nirvana, my new LCS, to send it to me, and I will read it. I have not checked it out yet. Scrolling through, let me see. Welcome, brother. It is all good. We are glad to have you here. I thought the trailer for Marvels looks fun. Then there's an article stating it is the most disliked trailer. Here's the thing, brother. That was written before the trailer actually dropped. That was written before the trailer dropped. All they did was change a couple of things when the trailer dropped to make it seem like they just wrote it. That narrative was already written. I'm telling you that right now. Philtastic, we were great right up until then. Philtastic, Rob Boswell. I can't talk to you guys. I can't talk. See, this is my guy. Simpatico. This is my guy. Teasing, of course. Scrolling through, Steve. Come on, man. Come on. Scrolling through. The Marvels look fun. Just hope the comedy is controlled and not like Thor. People hated Thor. They hated that movie. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Rob, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate the super chat, brother. They're very nice of you. Very nice of you, my friend. All right. So there's some other news that came up today, some late breaking stuff regarding the Deadpool 3 movie. Some of the actors that actually starred in the previous Deadpool movies are actually going to be coming back. The guy that played Colossus is going to be coming back, and Deadpool's wife is also going to be coming back. She is the actress from V. That's how I remember her. She is going to be coming back. They have actually signed on, and little by little, we are seeing the build out of the Deadpool 3 movie. I don't even know when this movie is supposed to drop, but this is one that I like Deadpool. Right? It is controlled humor to the point that was just made a second ago. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing this one when it drops in probably a couple of years by this point, but hopefully will be a very good movie. All right. Scrolling through, that's one good news. There you go. Chris, you sent it to me, and I think Dave sent it to me as well. The two of you sent it to me, and thankfully it was already on my radar, so I'm glad that I was able to run with it. To the point that someone just made here, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I want to encourage you to go ahead and do so. Just go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, tap the subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel. Speaking of content that's going to be coming out, I am dropping this video tomorrow, the best pricing guide. And for those that have been around for a while, I actually hit this topic back in 2020. I want to say it was 2020, maybe 2019. I am revisiting that topic and I am building upon the topic. I'm taking it a step further than I did in that original video. If you guys remember that one, I think that this is going to be a helpful video. Hopefully it'll be a video that people will enjoy. And for those that came in a little late, if you all have not seen this video that dropped yesterday, I do believe, I definitely want to encourage you guys to check it out. Money can be a little tight right now for folks with jobs, with the economy, with values of collectibles declining. So this is a video series that I started last month in which I'm highlighting books that you may already own. It's a question of, is now the time to actually send these books in to get them slabbed? Do you want to make a small investment in your own collection to realize some potential value? And so in this series, I am highlighting a couple of books that you may want to consider, and go to your short boxes, dig in your shorts, dig in your longs, and figure out whether you have some of these books, because potentially those books can benefit from being graded. And as a reminder, not all books have to be slabbed. Not all books have to be slab. Mylar, polybags, top loaders, gator guards, all great ways to encapsulate and protect a book. You don't have to slab it all. All right. With that said, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. Again, shout out to Roger from 3 Men in the Basement for coming on and talking about their swap that they have coming up. If you are in the Connecticut, New Jersey, New York area, you may want to swing by and check them out. I think that the event is going to be awesome. As always, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.
Straight off meditation, we was concaving until we had that eternal dialogue that created our dialect. Now we in distinct rooms with pure souls having them conversations. Synergy and combinations. You flying, we waiting. Indian style in the gold temple of greatness. When you follow the North Star, you coming for the education. This is my audio book. These rhymes are just the imagery. More like an audio graphic novel or a memoir about a young MC making timeless music with his mentor. I pray I grasp my letters. Nothing was meant to last forever.